Okay, hello. I just want to show you something that was interesting, a little tie back that's in one of my decode charts that ties us back with this decode with Sovereignty, the winning horse of the Kentucky Derby. Okay, Sovereignty, the Kentucky Derby winner. Okay, and I did the decode where we talked about the gold sovereign, the coin, the English coin. Okay, and again, what that has on the back of it is it has a picture of St. George, okay? Coincidentally, this is from Wikipedia, and it just happens to be a 1959 coin. And we're actually going to be linking this to the number 195 or 159, however you want to look at that set of numbers. But I'm going to show you how this connects up now to potentially the 19th of May, okay? Right, so let me show you, because this all ties back to Back to the Future. And of course, in Back to the Future, we have George McFly, okay, is our character that has to kind of grow a pair, okay, in order to save Marty, okay. So what's interesting is, let me show you this now. I've got to go to my decode chart, but what we need to bear in mind is St. George's Day is April the 23rd, okay? So if we go to the decode chart now, I have the Back to the Future stuff drawn in the decode chart, okay? The Double Cross of Lorraine chart. What I have, for people that are new here, I don't even know if I can even really explain this, okay? This is a decode chart with the Fibonacci sequence, Lucas numbers, and a couple of other sequences that I've whacked in there and come up with by myself. And just so happens you can draw the clock tower into this chart, and it's very interesting, okay? So I've got this is the clock tower here with the sort of pyramid type thing going on. The top of the clock tower has the 55 lightning strike, the ZZ Top lightning strike, stylized 55, hitting the top of the clock tower. Okay, here's the 10:04, the number 14 is a 10:04 when the clock stops. Okay, so the lightning hits the clock tower, it comes down the line through the 911 here, over to the lamppost, or actually it might be a electric pole on the other side of the street here, with the Western Ore 09 on the side of the building, and we get the 911, okay, with the fire trails. You know, the 11 is right here, so this is representing this number 11 that's in here. The 0 here that is in the Fibonacci sequence could also be a 9, because when you repeat the Fibonacci sequence in a cycle, it becomes a 9, that 0, okay? So 911 is in here. We also have the figure of pi made with the electrified line and the 2 fire trails, okay? And so my point is, if we look in here, I've got this underlined on this side in grey. We can see one side of the clock makes the 4:23 of St. George's Day, okay? And next to that is 591, or if we read out the opposite way, 195, or the 19th of May, coming in the opposite direction here. And you can also look at the the electric coming down the line, 195 as well, right there, coming down the line, okay? So it's an interesting date that kind of ties right back in with 9/11 in Back to the Future here, the way it's decoded, the way it comes out in this chart. Anyway, something that I wanted to show you, another little connection here while I'm on the topic of George McFly and St. George's Day here, and how it reflects back with this 195 here is, and just coincidentally though, it's just coincidence that they've got 195 numerology here on 1959 on the coin here, okay, in Wikipedia. But is this shot of George McFly here? In fact, I've blown it up a little bit. I believe this is at the start where Lorraine is asking him if he was bird watching when he got knocked down in the street, okay. bird watching. Okay, look what he's wearing. Okay, Malcolm X outfit here. Malcolm X outfit. May 19th. Malcolm X, born May 19th. Malcolm Little. I myself have done a decode on Chicken Little to do with Madonna, and also We Find has a great decode on Chicken Little to do with Back to the Future and a lot of the scenes in it. Go look at his channel and find that decode there for Chicken Little, because what were you doing, George? Were you bird watching for Chicken Little? I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I've got a ton of other little number jumps to show you on this stuff, but I thought I'd just get that one out of the way. The connection back to the sovereign again and sovereignty, the horse, the connection back to St. George's Day, and why that connects back to 195. Very interesting that they just happen to have a 1959 coin on Wikipedia. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers. Right, bye.